How's it, everybody? We are live to you on this amazing day that is day 6 of our 21-day.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
So we're going to do all of the formalities. So we're going to dive straight into being fully clear that we are not general health practitioners or professionals of that kind. We are humans with a stand for humans thriving. And these are tools that have worked for us. And so please feel free to pause this and read it in your own time. Essentially, what we're saying is listen to your own body and trust your own instinct about things. And hopefully you'll enjoy the tools and they'll make a difference for you too. But speak to your doctor if you're questioning anything.
And there we are again, back with you. Sure. I really like to start these sessions with just a moment of gratitude, and it's self-gratitude. Again, I invite you to appreciate yourself for showing up, for either being on this live call right now here on Zoom or on Facebook, or even watching the replay right now, making the time to do something for yourself. Mm-hmm. Something that actually will enhance not just yourself, but also your relation and your support for others and for the world.
You know, a fundamental of Thrivors is this context of win-win wins. I win, you win, others win, so to speak, and the world wins. And as much as possible, fulfilling that ideal of thriving because we're caring for self and others and the world simultaneously. Okay, so guys, we're going to try a little experiment today. Throw in the chat box, if you're in, either on Facebook or now, any random words. And this is actually, April is the month of poetry. And so we thought as a fun exercise, we would as quickly as possible create a very random, funny poem. So just throw any random words in and let's see if we can co-create a poem just for the fun of it. So go for it. Throw in any random words. I was saying, okay, Zenjen's chosen love. Okay.
There's another one, love, here from Wendy.
Haberdashery. So we've definitely got love. Haberdashery. Okay, good. Exponential. Nice. Thanks for that, Joel. This is going to be great fun. Exponential. Piglet. And jump. I'm getting jump.
I'm getting cat.
Cat, yeah.
Are we just diving in this right now?
We're just diving straight into this.
Okay.
So, haberdashery is rad.
Piglets
jump. We need jump.
Ooh, jump.
Piglets jump. This needs to rhyme, otherwise it's not much of a poem. Okay, haberdashery is red. You see, you know that how the standard one of violets are red. I mean, roses are red, violets are blue. So haberdashery is red. Exponential love is true.
Haberdashery is red. I love my cat. Exponential. I love piglets. In what rhymes of love? Something that rhymes of love. Miracle. There's another one. Miracle. Okay, you guys not making it easy right now.
Okay, we got dove. Dove rhymes.
Dove.
Haberdashery is red. I love my cat. My cat I love. Exponential miracle piglets jump just like a dove.
We're just like we'll post this afterwards.
We'll put all the words. We'll put all the words in, and then you guys can create your own ones. But the point of it again is to not take yourself so seriously. So that was fun.
And poetry is easy, apparently. Just creating something in the moment.
Yeah. All right, guys. So let's dive into our visualization. We'll put all of those words in for you. Looks like we've actually got a few extras as well. So anybody want to get creative with your fun today? The collective words are out. Okay. We're going to just go into our visualization. So now that we've had a little fun, just inviting you to find a space to get settled.
Just find a place where you feel comfortable, seated or lying down, and close your eyes. return to your breath. Just exhale completely everything. Take a deep breath in together. Hold it and let it go. And 2 more times on your own time. Deep breath in. Hold it on the top for a moment. And then let it go. And one last time. Try to make the exhale as long as possible.
Feeling into this human form, this vessel, allowing myself to enter into every part of my being, feeling the tenderness of my heart, breathing and feeling how this heart receives that breath, places the oxygen into the blood and pumps the blood fresh to every part of our being. Feeling the mind with its many thoughts, acknowledging that this mind becomes quieter as the heart leads the way. Feeling into the body, the depth of the body, the vessels within the vessels. Breathing into every part of the body. Feeling the soul, feeling the spirit. Feeling that part that is infinite, that continues long after this body.
And with every breath, appreciate the choice you make to be alive, to be here in this world with your vessel, your body, your heart, your spirit.
Allowing our focus to our fingerprints, to those unique parts that we can even identify ourselves. Millions, each unique. Consider what is your unique vessel print. What are the unique talents that your vessel brings to this world? Hold that. Place that into a special place for you to remember. You are part of the whole, and yet still so beautifully unique.
And now in your own time, start rubbing your fingers against each other and return to this moment. Give yourself a moment to relax. And when you're ready, open your eyes.
Just inviting you, if you are on this Zoom call and you feel willing to share your face with the rest of the world, to please turn on your video so that we can see you.
Oh, actually, today's centering thought.
Dun, 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 dun,
Let us pull it up.
dun, dun, dun.
I am a vessel for the greatest good of all.
And when you see that, what's the resonance for you?
For me, what it brings up really is the resonant frequency, the resonant feeling that I have an opportunity to make a choice here, to choose how I'm using my time and this vessel in this life at every moment. And this is a reaffirmation for me to remind myself what I'm capable of doing here if I allow myself to be fully aligned with the greatest good and act in a way that serves not just myself but the world, others, and the world. So for me, it just brings that centering feeling back. It actually helped me even this morning when I was like very busy in my own world with some layers that showed up as I woke up this morning. And actually, when this centering thought came up, it actually put me into a more holistic view and actually allowed me to step back from my own internal nonsense and small stuff compared to what actually the bigger picture looks like. So yeah, that was for me what it brought up.
I love that we, last year when we were working already on this on the ground and we were doing our first 21 days experience out in a community, one of the fundamentals for us, we even actually created a little sign because we wanted it to just be so remembered, and it was this context of win-win wins. So I win, others win, and the world wins simultaneously, same time. And Totes and I were actually researching for you guys, and one of the things that I think is really worth putting across is that we have the scientific evidence. We know, guys, we know that this world is interconnected. And so if I am making the effort to live in a win-win-wins way, if I am taking care of me and others and the world, then I'm putting out this frequency that actually is supporting the healing of the whole planet. So maybe how do we strengthen the vessel is the thing that's coming up for me.
Yeah. On my own journey to strengthen my vessel, and when I use the word vessel, for me it actually means like I'm opening up a flow. I allow forces, I allow spirit to work through me. Without that, I'm actually blocking it. And that is like, it plays for me into like trusting my intuition. When I feel there's a calling for me to something, I feel called to pick up the phone and check in with a certain person, or I'm in a supermarket and there's a person I see and I have this calling to just say something that just arises. All these moments where it feels like it comes out of the gut and out of the heart, like the lower part of the body, just this calling of like, I have a story. Like I was on a plane to Nairobi to Kenya, and I was sitting. There was an empty seats between me, and then there was this Hindu lady sitting next to me, and we were landed already in Nairobi. And suddenly I had this calling of like, talk to her. And I was like, internally, I'm like, why would I talk to her? I'm on a plane. I never talk to people. I'm like, this is not a thing I'm doing. Like, why? There's no reason for me to talk to her. And then I closed my eyes. I'm like, all right, Spirit, what would you like me to do? And it feels like when I say that, those self-inquiry, I get the clear answer again, and I get it again. Talk to her. And I don't know why. I just got to talk to her. So I started talking to her, and it turned out that she was on her way to India to a heartfulness meditation center, and they were doing 120,000 people coming together to meditate for peace. And I've never heard about this before. And so I got like a whole download of like what already exists out there to unite people in a beautiful, conscious way to serve the greater good. And so that was my little, just one of the stories, what happens when I open my vessel and I allow myself to to trust that calling.
Yeah. And I love that too, because the strength of my vessel exists as I stop being in the way. So one of the things that's made a huge difference for me is surrender. Like, so I sometimes get caught up in, as Totes was saying, my nonsense, you know, so that my noise seems like it's too loud, especially with all the stuff that's going on in the world, because I feel and I'm sensitive. So I'm like, oh, I don't like that that's going on. And then I start to feel overwhelmed by it. The moment I surrender, and for me, I do that in prayer. I know for others, it can be an intention setting or sit down and meditate or do some conscious movement or conscious breathing. All of these are different tools to strengthen the vessel, but I surrender. Like in that moment, I fully surrender. I hand it over. I let go and I go, I've felt it. I know what it feels like, and I'm now letting it go. It's not mine to hold. And then I feel like my vessel becomes clear again. And then I'm able to do that listening. Before that, I can't even hear that intuitive voice because I'm so caught up in my nonsense. It's like I'm blocked. My vessel is blocked, and I have to clear that first so that I can hear.
Yeah, and another layer to this is what you just mentioned, like feeling overwhelmed. Like that's when we try to hold it ourselves. And I realized again on my own journey is like when I actually just surrender it, and I'm like, it feels like I can take on more and more things, and it doesn't feel like it adds any weight on my shoulders because I'm not holding it. I'm just allowing these things to come through as I'm feeling called to create them, as I'm feeling called to let them through. So there's a difference. Again, I feel like we mentioned it in one of the other videos where it's like trying to do something versus allowing it to unfold, whatever that is, whatever that calling is that is sitting there with you.
We'll post a video that actually has been going quite viral, and we took some snippets from that video because I think it's really important for us to acknowledge again the science in this. So some of the facts that we got in 1978, guys, 1978, they already did a scientific study on cohesion, on what happens when we collectively use our vessels for something greater. And
yeah, they did a full-on scientific study on 7,000 meditators that were meditating for 3 weeks for love and peace in the world, and they found a way to measure that the global crime rate in that 3 weeks dropped by 16%. And
like the biggest, the like mind-blowing figure that they saw a huge reduction in after that was
the decrease in global terrorism by 72%.
72%
in that 3-week window.
And no, Chicago as well. They did an FBI study where they took the city of Chicago and they took, I think, something, not even lots, like 200 meditators. And they got them to meditate consistently for 21 days also on improving the state of well-being of the city. And they had a 65% decrease in crime. In our own Soul Circus experience last year, when we, for only 21 days, we were in this beautiful town. And in those 21 days, we heard after the fact that lovely little town, the town of Swellendam, their juvenile arrests went from an average of 17 every month down to 1. And that's what happens when we allow our vessels to serve the greatest good. So, I'm excited. Should we hear from a few humans out there?
Yeah, I'm quite keen. If anyone has any input on that, maybe I believe you can unmute yourself. Yes, if you'd like to talk.
Something that works for you to strengthen your vessel.
Hey guys, I love this. Absolutely love this. And I was speaking about this yesterday with my Nia tribe. So this is one of my big ways of keeping my vessel full and supporting my tribe and keeping their vessel full. So there's this flow that happens. So as I fill up and I offer my Nia movement classes, they fill up and feed that back to me. And so we create this spiral that goes. So for me, a really big part of this, I am a vessel for the greatest good, is really about not standing alone in it. So for me, there's such a fundamental part about filling ourselves up, but then sharing that and receiving that feedback. So that cycle just continues. So for me, that's a really good feedback loop, if I can call it that. And then the other thing I wanted to say is, I especially felt this on our 21 days in Swellendam together as a community, physically close together. So there's something about being distant, but in those 21 days physically close together in the Soul Circus Thrivor Experience, because there were over 40 of us, all filling up and depleting and filling up and depleting, there was this continual waves that kept coming. And that's what I think the community is that we're not all going to be full at the same time. So it allows for that ebb and flow.
I love that, Jill. Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you. And that's an invitation then to this community, you know, actually from our day 8, which is in 2 days
Friday.
time. Yeah. So from Friday, we'll complete our 21 minutes or 28 minutes, whatever it is. And then we'll actually, once the live transmission is done, we'll still keep this Zoom room open for another kind of 20 or so minutes so that we can have some more communal connect, some more share time without the live viewership. Yeah.
And anyone is invited to join this Zoom room. So the link will always be in the WhatsApp group and in the Facebook group. Is there anyone else who'd like to share?
Okay, so first of all, I just want to say on the back of Jill's wall, she's got your WinWin Winds.
I saw that.
First of all, and then second of all, can I ask a question?
Please.
So in order to make our vessels open to receive and be that channel of love and light, we need to let go of our ego and empty that vessel of our ego and self-limiting thoughts. Do you have any advice on that?
Yeah, for me, like, it's actually not letting go of the ego. Sounds like, for me, it doesn't resonate. It's like, it's still a part of me. It still sits there. It's more like, how can I put my heart in charge of what is going on and trust my heart, follow my heart, and then ego is like almost like a word for like the mind construct. And how can I have my heart lead and have the mind be kind of the support of the heart? So my heart is like, I should do this, so I'm just going to do it. And then I'm like, cool, mind, how am I going to do this? So the mind is becoming the supportive kind of force for me, as I trust my heart, as I trust my spirit, my intuition, my calling.
And that, to add to that, we have the tool LLC, Look, Let Go, Choose, which we actually posted. I think we did it already on day 1. You're going to notice we're not actually doing many more infographics for you guys, because now you've got the tools. Now we're practicing those tools. That's what we need to be practicing. So LLC is literally doing that dive in. So let's use Tote's example here. So my noise is taken over. My heart is saying, I need to be doing this. The noise is taking over. And I can see that. So it's like, okay, mind, I see you. And I'm letting go of that because this is resonating right now. So just tune into this right now with me, and let's see how we can work this together. And this internal practice then for me becomes something I'm able to then do externally too, because this voice that Totes is referring to here, it shows up on the outside too. So the exact same constructs that I'm struggling with internally will show up on the outside. And it's not going to work if I go, no, you shouldn't be like that. I don't want you to be like that. The only way it will work is if I can look at it, let it go, so to speak, as I transform it into something that becomes a yes and. You're there? Yes. Okay, you're there. And we're going to play this game because this is the WinWin Winds game. So play this game and we can play it together.
And that's an ongoing journey. Like
It's a practice.
there's an ongoing practice, and you will just become stronger and stronger. Yeah.
Yeah, I have one of my favorite books, daily books, is this lovely thing from Eileen Caddy. She was one of the ladies who started Findhorn, which is one of the oldest eco villages. And today, today when we opened up on April, because of course it's the 1st of April. I can't believe it. I'm kicking myself right now. Ow! Like, this is the funniest fun day, and I have not got one prank for you guys. I feel like a biggest banana ever. Like I pranked myself by not having a prank on the 1st of April. I'm like, only just dawned on me, banana. Anyway, so here's the reading for the month of April. I was shown a fledgling learning to fly. Its first efforts were very feeble, but as it used its wings more and more, they became stronger until it found the freedom of flight and was able to soar to great heights and fly great distances without any effort. I heard the words.
Faith comes with practice. Live by faith until it becomes rock-like and unshakable, and find the true freedom of spirit deep within you.
So we'll post that image for you guys as well. And on that note,
I still have Liz there. She unmuted herself
Liz,
already.
yes, please, Liz.
I think in my journey of being a free spirit, living my free spirit in order to be there to free spirit in others, I've realized that I needed to drop the labels, the functional labels, and to do that, I needed to, as you were saying, Totes, get out of my head and just follow my heart. And what has evolved is this realization that I am enough, and all I need to do in any context is show up as a conscious presence and meet people wherever they are at. So instead of showing up with a particular agenda and what am I going to teach, I find I'm most effective in a win-win-win way when I'm just allowing myself to be there, fully present, and allowing whatever to work through me. So it's not by me, it's through me. And ultimately, I've found that I've given my big self, my higher self, my divine self, a name, and her name is Sunshine. And the moment I ask Sunshine how she would deal with this, I find the answers are there.
Oh, I
So
love
that is
that.
genius.
I love that. Thank you for that. Oh, I love that. And that resonates so deeply. Thank you, beautiful sister.
Yeah, it does resonate so deeply, because like there's a game that we play sometimes where we just ask ourselves which archetype, which self is speaking right now, which then helps us to bring us back into like a more of an observer point of like, okay. Yeah.
Just before we go, I mean, we're going to be slightly longer today. Michael, did you also have something? Yeah, how's it?
My name is Michael Julius. Hi, Toads. Hi, Zen,
Hey,
Jen, and
brother.
everybody there. Hey, and Vero. Hi, guys. Sorry, I'm in my PJs.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Okay. So what I want to know is, you mentioned the fact that sometimes we have a lot of noise going on around us, especially I think for light givers like us. What type of steps can you take to specifically identify that this is noise and it's not good noise, and how can we deal with it? I don't know if you guys mentioned it before. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yes,
100%.
Okay. So what proper steps can you take when you've identified the noise? Because just to make a quick example, I love this lockdown vibe because it gives me a chance to actually go through everything that I have to do, fix myself mentally, work on some new projects. But I also find myself a little bit I find myself asking, obviously myself, are you doing enough? Why are other people, they seem to have more time than us, basically. So how can you basically recondition your mind to actually stay focused? Because that in your mind, your thoughts, because I think today's session is about centering your thoughts. So when you realize that thought just came into your mind, how do you quickly realize it and also work through it? I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yeah, you do definitely.
Because sorry, just the last part, because I also believe that all of us are vessels, and we shouldn't allow our egos to get in the way. And that's how I look at what I'm doing, you know. But obviously right now, if nobody has a lot of stuff to do, so everybody's looking at what someone else is doing. And as soon as you know, not as soon as you know, we all know that we are the light bringers in life, and we can change situations. But sometimes we don't feel like that.
So one,
It's a lot of
comparison is I'd say the killer of joy, really.
I never do that. I don't even check people's stuff.
Okay,
It's just like right now, it's in my face.
Yeah. So that's one. And then the second one is like this, what it feels like for me is that you have expectations that come from somewhere that you set yourself, and you're not living, it feels like you're not living up to your own expectations. Which, you know, that can be several layers, but a simple tool to get out of that noise is to use brag. Which is what we shared on day 2.
It's one of the infographics that's there. It's cool though, because Michael, it's available there, and you're alongside many others that also joined later and haven't seen that. So just feel free to access there. You'll see it's still in the Facebook group. And yeah, I turn brag sometimes around, and I look at Auntie Brag, because if I notice that I'm not breathing and I'm not relaxed and my awareness is very limited and I'm not grounded and I'm focused on the get, then I know I'm in one or other fear construct. And so that's a very simple way for me to go, whoa, hang on. Use Liz's example. My sunshine is not here. My dark clouds are here right now, you know? So it's like, cool, I'm going to bring my sunshine back. And the best way for me to bring that sunshine back is to practice the breathing, practice the relaxation, bring the awareness back to appreciation, ground myself, and focus on the give. And then that sunshine voice comes back.
Okay.
And trusting your whatever your calling is, because like what does it, I resonate with this, like when this kind of noise shows up for me when I'm not listening to, you know, I have an intuitive thought, I should do this, and I'm not doing it. And then at the end of the day, I'm sitting there and like, I feel like, oh, you know, why didn't I, like all these layers come up with it. And again, it's like when we allow and we take action on whatever our calling is, it just flows through. The moment that we block it, you know, we're called to do a certain action and we're not doing it because of fear, or basically because of fear, then we're creating an energetic block that then sits there. And brag is a tool to release that block and then get back into a space where we can take action.
I'm actually also going to just throw one final little bonus tool out for everybody today. And it's not Elizabeth Gilbert's 54321. It's Mel Robbins' 54321. And that is the moment you have an inspired thought. So it's like, oh, I should maybe start doing my online fitness. Yeah, I should do that. The moment you've had the inspired thought, the brain is going to start giving you every potential option of why you should not. So to interrupt that potential, you start counting down. That was an inspired thought. 5, 4, 3, 2. And by 1, you're already writing down what the program is going to be. You're taking the action. So the countdown, literally, they say that the brain doesn't know how to do the backwards counting. So the moment you're counting backwards, the brain has to focus on the backwards counting. So it can't give you the variable options. And then you're taking the action. And so for those that are struggling to get out of bed during this quarantine or lockdown moment, the same trick works. You're like, oh, I don't want to get up 5, 4, 3. Oh, I'm getting up out of bed. Damn. Okay, but yeah, we're going to make these sessions longer from today's time. But for now, dive into your day, make those vessels shine. So much love.
Lots of love, everyone.
We'll post that video to you as well.
And all the Thrive tools are in the Facebook group. There's a tag. You click on Thrive tools, you'll have them all listed in one thread, and you can go through them. They will all support your vessel to thrive.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, and so much love. Mwah.
Ciao, guys.
Take care of those vessels. They're beautiful.
Yes. Love, 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 love.